All right, welcome everyone. This is our very last class. I trust that you've had a good time so far. Today we're going to continue with some of the brand collaterals. We've done a logo and a brand style guide, right? So we're going to do some other things. Today we're going to design an Instagram quote, right? We're also going to design something like a mini brochure, okay, and a kind of book layout, okay, and then I'm going to walk through how to design presentations and a mini website to invite people to join you on social media or, a landing page to get people to sign up for your events. All right. So let's move as quickly as possible. And like I've always said, one of the reasons why um, I spent the last 3 weeks explaining the principles of design, explaining the all of those things is because the why is more important than the what. Okay, so now that you understand why many of the elements work the way they do, why you understand the principles, now that you understand all of those things, it's very easy for you to apply those principles and come up with a desired solution, right? So let's move as quickly as we can. I'm going to share my screen now and open up my Canva documents. All right. All right. Any questions at this point? No questions. Okay. So here's my Canva screen. Okay. So I'm going to create a new design. This time I'm going to create an Instagram post because we want to make a quote, right? Quotes are one of the things that many people end up using a lot on social media, right? And like I said earlier, one of the ways you can distinguish yourself as a designer is to ensure that you try to use elements outside Canva. So I'm going to do a bit of that, okay? So if we check through templates and we just go through quotes, oh my, quotes, right? Search the templates for quotes, you're going to see a lot of things, all right? You're going to see a lot of things that you can adapt from. Okay. So let's say we find something that we might want to use, right? And there's something that a lot of people use a lot for quotes. And let me show you on Canva. Okay. So we have something like this, right? Quote graphic. Okay, so we have this, what's the name? I can't even remember anymore. Inverted commas, quotation marks, right? So we have these quotation marks. Many times people use them a lot when you have like quote designs. Okay, so if you want to use that, feel free, no problem. It's quite cliche, but I mean, cliches work because they are, cliches are cliches because they work. Okay, so um and yeah, so you can see people playing around with the quotation marks when it comes to quotes. But basically, what you notice is most times quotes usually have many quotes are usually centralized, right? If you notice, I mean, this is not good design because it just doesn't look very well. So this is obviously no good inspiration. Okay. But typically you would have it's either centralized or aligned to the left because people typically read from left to right in English language. If it was in Arabic, it would be right to left, okay? But so just trying to show you what a lot of people have done, okay? And to give you a good idea of what we want to do as well. All right. So this time let's use a design quote. All right. A design quote. So I'm just going to go to all. So we can use have no fear of perfection, you will never reach it. Ha ha ha. It sounds very not too great. Let me find something else. Um, well, it's true, but I mean, I don't just want to use that one. Okay, so let me find this from Canva. Okay, everything is designed, few things are designed well. Design can be art. Design is not for philosophy, it's for life. Bad design is like no good design is like a mirror. Design creates, I like this. Design creates culture, culture shapes values, values determine the future. Okay, so let's use this. I like this. Okay, so now I'm going to share my Canvas screen. Let me know if you get lost at any point so that I don't lose you. Okay, so I'm going to paste it here. So I'm just going to type it out. Okay. So I'm going to come here at the heading or whatever, design creates culture, full stop. Culture creates values, full stop. Values determine the future. And you can easily see the emphasis on this design. What's the emphasis on this actual design? This design. Someone just give me feedback.
The
Anybody?
future.
Future, very obviously, because it was bold. Okay. So I mean, we are going to choose what we want to emphasize. All right. So typically you would have something like this right now. It's designed. So we want something. Now, this is obviously off-brand. Okay. Okay. Yeah, someone's raising his hand.
Yeah, the second line is culture shapes value, not culture creates. It's culture
Yeah,
shapes.
you can ask your question.
I said the second line, culture shapes value.
Okay. All right. So let's proceed then. So I mean, this is off-brand to what we were doing. So instead of doing this entirely, right, let's do something in line with our brand. Okay. You know, this is going to be off-brand because I don't want to do something in line with our brand. Okay. After this, we'll continue doing the rest of the designs with our brand. I just want to give you a good idea of how you can find things outside Canva. Okay. So design creates culture, culture creates values, values determine the future, right? Now, this is a quote design by Robert L. Peters, okay? So I'm just going to paste his name. Okay. So I'm just going to increase this a bit, all right? I'll change this font to I mean, I like open source, so yeah, it works, okay? And maybe make it bold, okay? And make it this way, right? Now, why am I changing it from this to this? Okay, it's because personally, right? It's because this has a nice arrangement, okay? And as opposed to this looks extra long and it just has so much space up and down. While this doesn't feel as long. So if I was going to use the exact same width, right, this will cover more space. Okay. But it doesn't mean I have to cover all the space, but I'm just giving you a good idea of why I did that. All right. So let's say I'll keep this as Playfair display. Okay. Because I just want some contrast with the text. Okay. Position, center already. Right. Now we get to design our page. Okay. So what elements do I want to put? Let's say I want to have some interesting elements that have design related type of things. Okay. One of the things you want to do is simply go online, right? So I'm going to my browser now. I'm going to search for, let me search for a gold swash, right? Okay, so this is what the gold swash is, right? But instead of gold swash, I'll just do a PNG. Okay, so when I go to image, right, I'll try to find a PNG file. Now, these are things that you most likely find on Canva that are premium, but you can find them online for free. Okay, so I'm trying to find one that is actually PNG. If it's not PNG, I can make it PNG by going to remove the BG. Okay, so all hope is not lost if you don't find a PNG file that you want. But if you find something that's very similar to what you want and you don't have time to, so you can just pick it up and remove the BG and do what you have to do with it. Okay, so let's see. I like this. Oh, it's a PNG. Good. I really like this. So I'm just going to copy this. Now I'm going to go back to Canva and paste this here. Right now, you see that it works perfectly like a PNG file. Okay, so this is an element you probably won't find on Canva. All right. So those are the kind of things you might want to do to your design to make it look less Canva-like in quotes, okay? But just to make you realize that Canva can work as a design tool even when you are not using Canva elements. All right. So let's say I want to add some flowers. Okay. So let me go online again and find some flowery, not flowers actually. I mean those like green plants, leaves. Aha, I don't know the name of these leaves. So yeah, but these are the leaves I'm trying to find. Does anyone have an idea what the names of these leaves are? Because I don't, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay, so, but these are the leaves I'm talking about, right? Funny enough, this is not a PNG file. It's a deceptive. How you can know if it's a PNG file is if you drag it, it won't have a background, but you see it has a background. If you compare this to what you had before, look at this. When you drag it, you see that it doesn't have that background at the back. Let me know if you understand what I just explained. Hello, any feedback?
Yes.
Anybody, do you understand what I just explained with how to know if it's a PNG file or not?
If it doesn't have background, it's PNG.
Where's everybody?
Hello?
You said if you drag it.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, this is strange. So,
Yes, hi. But I didn't understand because I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
oh, okay. Okay. So let me explain again. How come? I think I'm not hearing. Oh, my mic is off. So sorry. I think some people are actually speaking. Okay, so what I was explaining was how do you know if it's a PNG file? If it's a PNG file, some images look like this. So typically, how you know it's a PNG file is it has this black, gray, and white, right? But sometimes you'll find some images that have the gray and whites that are not PNG files. So how you would know is if you drag the image, you'd see that it's dragging without a background. You can see, yeah, it feels like there's nothing under it compared to this image. When you drag this, can you see? Let me know if you understand what I just explained.
Sorry, I don't
Yes.
understand
Okay.
because I'm not seeing.
Okay, good. So let's see. Okay, now this is a PNG file because see if you drag it, yeah. So let's do plants aesthetics. Okay, tropical plant leaves, that's the name. Okay, so this is not a PNG file because it's very deceptive. So let's see this. Is this a PNG file? No, it's not. I mean, if you don't find a PNG file, we can easily remove it at remove the BG. Okay, so I'm just going to use that one because I like that one. Let me see if this is a PNG file. I'll just use this. Ah, it is nice. I love it. So copy image. Now I'm going to go back to Canva. Okay, I'll paste. Okay, now you want to learn also to how to work with elements. So for example, imagine that we have these leaves, right? And I mean, there's only one of it, right? But I want to make it look plenty. What I can do is duplicate, okay? Reduce the size, okay? Bring this to the front and maybe flip it, okay? So now if I duplicate this again, okay? So maybe I'll make this bigger. I'll make this bigger. I'll flip it again. Okay. I'll flip this horizontally again, make this smaller. Now it looks like a lot. Okay. Just by virtue of what I've done. And I'm just going to drag this down. Okay. Can you see how I use one element and that same element is already looking like a lot of things? Okay, so that's another thing that you also want to learn how to do when you're working with elements, how to populate your design with one element by varying the size or just increasing it appropriately or reducing it as the case may be. Okay, so let's say I want this to come from up. Okay, and I want this to be under his name. Okay. Okay, I want to change the color of this to this green, right? Now I can duplicate this. Okay. And then flip horizontally, then flip vertically so that it's creating a nice balance here. Okay, you see that? So I can just increase this a bit so that it has some variation. Okay. I mean, so this is obviously asymmetrical. Okay. It could have been exactly the way I did it earlier, where by just doing this Control C, Control V, flip horizontal, flip vertical, and then drag to this end. Okay. Now this is obvious symmetry. Okay, it's proper. You can use symmetry as the case may be, but you can also use asymmetrical designs in some other cases as well, depending on what you are trying to achieve. All right. So maybe I want to add another element. I want to add some gold dots. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the internet. Remember, this is a very, very good resource. Gold dots .png. Okay, good. Right, so these are the things that I'm looking for. Okay, so I mean, you can always remove the BG if you don't have the image. Let me see. This is obviously not a PNG file. Let's say PNG wannabe. This is also not a PNG file. Another PNG wannabe. Not a PNG file either. Not a PNG file. Not a PNG file. So what we would have to do is find one that works and just remove the background. Okay. I think I like this one. No, it's not clear enough. Let me see this. Okay. Okay, I think I like this. Oh, it's obviously a PNG. You can see that, yeah? It's a PNG. So I'll just copy this, okay? And then move to my canvas sheet, okay? I'll paste it, all right? Now, this is looking good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'll just crop it, okay? And then Control C, Control V, I've copied and pasted, flip it vertically, okay? And then flip it horizontally again. And there we go, right? So, I mean, this is obviously very balanced. You can see the symmetry, okay? And depends if you want the leaves to be in front or want them to be at the back, it's still up to you. So you can put them at the back and let the leaves come out, or you can put them in front, depending on what you want. Okay, so yeah, so we've done a simple, nice quote design, quote graphic. Okay, we could have added quotation marks if you wanted. Okay, so let's duplicate this. Imagine that we don't want to use this. Maybe we wanted to use quotation marks, or we even remove this. Okay, we wanted to use quotation marks, so we just come to elements, quotation mark. Okay, so let's find a free one. We can't find a free one. So where do we go? Okay, there's a free one. We can edit it. I like that green color that we had, so I'm just going to select it. Okay, but now it's difficult to use, so I'm just going to pick this nice light gold, okay, for contrast. So if I take this under, you're still going to see clearly. Yeah, so I'll duplicate this, flip horizontally, flip vertically, okay, and then drag this here. All right, you can see you can see there's good contrast because this color is going to show on top of this. Okay, imagine that this was maybe darker, like you see this is obviously not as clear, or this. Okay, I mean it's harder to read, you understand? So for contrast sake, we'll make it as bright as possible so that we can see what the name is. Okay, so now this looks a little weird. These things are affecting, so I might as well just bring this up, bring this down. Okay, just because it's a quote. And I mean this is much simpler. Okay, so reduce the size, and I mean this is a simpler version of what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you how you can actually find elements from, you know, the internet, remove the background, use them in your design to make your design look more interesting. All right, so mission accomplished. Good. Any questions at this point? No questions. All right, so we're going to continue with our brand, Fabulous. Okay, so we'll continue with our brand, Fabulous. Now we're going to create. So we've done the social media banner. Now let's do a mini brochure or a book layout. So it's pretty easy. Okay, so just come to home, create new design, right? If you search brochure, you're going to see brochure. Yeah, so click on brochure. This is a trifold brochure. Okay, so that's not what I want. You know what? We can do a trifold brochure actually. All right, so let's try a trifold brochure. I hope you understand what a trifold brochure is.
Can't see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Thank you. Okay, so basically what you want to do is come to create a design, okay, and type brochure. Yeah. Here you see this is a trifold brochure. 1, 2, 3. What's a trifold brochure? Those brochures where it's divided into 3. Okay, a bifold brochure is divided into 2. That's bi. All right. So which one should we do? Bifold or trifold? Trifold is harder, so let's do trifold. Okay, and you can see the size. It's obviously in A4 size. This is in A3 size. A3 is bigger than A4. Okay, so let's do an A4 size brochure. All right, so a brochure like this will obviously have 3 parts, and if you don't want to have to start from beginning, feel free to use a template. Okay, so let's see. Let's see a template we can adapt. Okay, you know what, let's try this. Right, apply both pages. Okay, now obviously a lot of things are going to change. First is our logo and then the colors. Okay, so okay, so now we'll find our brand colors. Okay, so these are brand colors. So I'm just going to copy them into the document so that they show up. Okay. So now we're just going to remove this and have our logo in front. Fabulous. Now you see, for the purpose of this design, right, because this design is a long design, our alternate logo will work better. than the longer one, right? So let's just keep this in the middle. Obviously, this is the front. So we're going to keep this white because I want us to use the deep green for the background. Okay. So we have this, right? Now we change the color of this to this brown color. Okay. Change the color of this to this is also a brown color. Let me be sure. Okay, so that's this. Yeah. Let me confirm. Okay, that's this. Okay, so these two. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we'll just change this to this, change this to this, right? Change this to like the deep green for that, and I'll keep the deep green for the text as well. And then we can change this color to, no, that's too much. So let me use this, okay? So we're basically just adapting this into fit our design, okay? So get in church, we're changing it to our regular font, which is Playfair Display, right? We'll reduce the size so you can stay on one line, okay? And change the font of this to open source, okay? Change this to our open source as well. All right, so you can see this is already looking like our brand by merely changing the colors, okay? And then we're also going to change the images. So let's do fashion. So depending on what you want to have written on your design, let's use this beautiful lady we've been using. So we are going to, now you don't have to follow this exact format. For example, if you want this image to be in front, right, you simply actually just change it, okay? And if you don't want this space to be this long, you can actually just move this upward, okay? You are in total control. All right, so I can just drag this down and in fact move this around to be smaller, okay? And we have our design, okay? I hope you understand how much control you have over this design. All right, so for this same thing, we can just change this to the previous image we used earlier. The background of this image is conflicting with our brand colors. So let's find another image that might work. This is also conflicting with our brand colors, but okay, this is not too bad, but isn't the best kind of image for our brand. So typically, if it's a big brand, they'll most likely have like their photography styling, you know, and all of that. But if not, you might just need to make do with what you have. Okay. So yeah, this is in touch. Okay. So let's do this. Now I'm working without the limitations of your customers' requirements. Okay. So in case you want to add some things here, you can just feel free to move things around and do as you please. All right. And then here, all you need to do is edit the designs, edit the context. You can change, you can remove this whole place and make it a whole image. Now, one thing, because we're in Nigeria, okay, so let me just tell you something for those of you in Nigeria and some people who might not have great printers. Okay, you see what happens when you design like this, right? Where you have 1, 2, 3. Typically, when you print it out, right, they're supposed to fold at these exact spots. Many times they don't get it. No, man, yeah, sometimes they don't get the exact spots when they're creasing the paper. To avoid that, right? Many times as a designer, so I use designs like this. So designs like this show the line, but even if they are off by a bit on this place, it will not be obvious. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Even if they are off by a bit on this place or off by a bit on this place, it won't be obvious. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
Okay, right? So that's the good thing about using designs like this, as opposed to using designs like this where the color difference is clearly cut out. Okay, so if you want to do something similar to that here, it means we would have to change the shape of our image and all of that. So Feel free to do that if you have that limitation, but if you're sure that you're going to get a good printer that will print it accurately, feel free to stay with this style of design, okay? So I just wanted to chip that in, all right? Okay, good. So any questions so far with the brochure design? No questions. Okay, so we are moving forward, right? Now we're going to design a book layout. And with a book layout, it's pretty easy, okay? So what I would have done easily is, so instead of, let's do this. Fabulous brochure. Okay. So instead of searching for create new design, okay, so let's do a bifold brochure this time, right? And if you're creating a book layout, you probably use the exact same style, all right? Either it's divided into two, or it's a simple page and you're going to have a lot of text on it, okay? So whichever one works, all right? So look at this, right? Remember what I told you earlier about having designs that don't necessarily have middle lines, okay? This is one amazing way to make that happen, okay? Also, if you see a design like this, something similar is happening here, all right? Even when they fold it, it's not exactly going to have to touch on one particular line. It's very fluid. So remember that. Same thing here. You can see the design. There's no exact line for you to cut, but even if they cut here, it's still going to look very, very good. Okay. So when you're designing stuff like this, so let's apply both pages, for example. Okay, we have two pages. Now you can see this alignment, the alignment, that's one thing you should always look out for when you're working on a book layout or something like this. Okay, ensure that your alignment is sharp and ensure that your subheader and your body copy font sizes are uniform. Okay, so this is a header, obviously, right? This is a body copy, header, subheader, then body copy. Okay, so your body copy here is 12.3. Your body copy here should be 12.3, and then 12.3 here. Your subheader here is 16. It should be here at 16. It should be here at 16, and then your header is here at 22.5. Okay, so you don't want to have your header here at 22.5 and then your header here at 25. You know, those kind of things. You need to be very, very uniform. Okay, and then don't forget, you don't want to have any orphans or widows. An orphan or widow would look something like this, where you have just description line, follow alone. Okay, so it's better to do something like this where the text feels more compact. Okay, so another thing that I'll suggest, if you don't have a very, very good printer, keep your margins inside. Okay, why I'm saying that is many times when you go to print, okay, so instead of keeping your margins here, right, drive it in a little bit more. Okay, and why is because many times when you're printing, it's possible that they don't get the trimming very well. So you want to give them enough space so that even if they trim and they have to trim away all these places, you still have enough space in your design. Okay, so if you're working on a book, if you're working on a brochure or something that you're going to print, ensure that you have enough margin. Okay, I mean, if your design is just going to be like this, right, you will have problems. If they trim it, it's going to look too close to this place. Okay, except of course you are never going to print it and you're just going to have it digitally. Okay, but even at that, I'll suggest you still have a good margin. Okay, so ensure that you have good margins in your design. All right, keep your alignment very, very sharp. Okay, and try to infuse images, elements, you know, all those things, and keep your design interesting. So you see what's happening here: header, subheader, header, body copy, header, subheader, body copy, subheader, body copy, subheader, body copy, then quote here. Okay, then you probably have body copy again, subheader, body copy again. So things like this are going to make your layout look interesting instead of just having this repeated all through the document. And then you see this image here, it's a good icebreaker as well. So you can have things like that in your layout as well. Have images, have elements that are descriptive or, that help to carry the point home. Okay. So because of time, I don't want to go over customizing this to look like our brand already. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions so far with regards to layout design. No questions. Okay. So I'm just going to continue. All right. Now let's assume that we want to design a letter-headed paper or a business card. Okay. I believe that at this point it's going to be pretty easy for you because you understand the principles already. Okay, so very easy. What you want to do is go to File, create new design, and then type letterhead. Okay, once you type letterhead, you're going to see many options. Honestly, at this point, I'd advise you to use a template instead of starting from scratch. Okay, you don't want to stress yourself. So once you find a template that resonates with your design or resonates with you or your brand, select it and then customize it. Okay. So let's find something that works, something that works. Okay, let's do this, right? Now we're going to edit this, obviously. Personally, I like to have all my details under instead of up here, okay? So I'm just going to bring this down, okay? Extend this. Okay. Extend this upwards. Extend this upwards. Okay, so I'm just going to use a shape. Okay, so maybe a rectangle, right? That's adjustable. Okay. So let me make this a darker color. So we're just going to use our brand colors, all right? So I'm copying this and pasting it in another page so it appears in the document colors. I'll change this background to, let me use a bright color here, right? And then change this to obviously open source, right? And we're going to use the exact same font size, which is going to be 12, okay? And then we change the color to the deep green, okay? And let me reduce the size to 10, okay? Good. So now we have all our details under, okay? Don't forget to keep your alignment very, very sharp, okay? So we take this upwards, okay? Now we zoom in just to be sure. If you're not sure, you might as well just delete this and continue writing from here, okay? So you have your address, you have it centralized to this shape, and then you also have it aligned to this, okay? So we have this, obviously we'll replace this with our logo. Fabulous. Okay, I like my logo to be somewhere up, right? This doesn't resonate with our brand. So we're going to find elements that do. Obviously, elements like this resonate with our brand. So I'm just going to click this, copy it, paste it, and just have this somewhere nicely put out. Okay, just to give our brand the look that it deserves. Okay, and the style that is consistent. All right. So what I want to do is, you know what? I'm going to change this color to white and make this deep green because deep green is one of our primary colors. So it's important that it shows very well. Okay. So I can just create another small circle here, use this color. Okay. So yeah, there we go. We have our letter-headed paper and we are good to go. Let me know if you have any questions at this point. So if you have your logo up here, right, you want to bring all these ones up a little, okay? You see the alignment is not sharp. So we need to sharpen the alignments. In fact, please never forget to sharpen your alignments. It's one of the most important things you can ever do. Okay. Always keep your alignments sharp. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Right. So our letterhead is done. Business card, pretty easy, right? Create a new design, search for a business card. So now that you have the understanding of how design works, it's very easy for you to work with almost any other thing. Okay. So let's say we're going to work with this. Okay. Let me see. So this one has front and back. Okay. And we obviously want something that has front and back. So let's do, okay, you know what? We'll create the back ourselves. All right. So what's my name? David Rotimi. Okay. So I'll align this to the left. Okay. I don't want it to be that big. Okay. I might as well. Oh, sorry, this is the name of my brand instead of me. Okay, so I'm just going to replace this with our logo. Okay. And because of the positioning, which size is going to be better for this place? The primary is this or this?
The secondary.
Good stuff. I like that. So because of the space that we have, okay? So I'm just going to paste this here, right? Keep this sharply in the middle. You see, my alignment is sharp. Always keep your alignment sharp. Never, never forget. Okay, so I'm going to change my name to David Rotimi. And then what's my role? Creative director. Okay. Oh, I'm close to typos. Creative director. Okay, so I want this to be a little smaller. Okay, good. Now I'm going to have my address, my phone number. I'm just going to skip all of that. Okay. Now we're going to change the background of this shape to something in our design. Okay. So what I want to do, first of all, copy all our picture colors. Okay. Copy, paste. Good. Right. Now, first change the background to one of our colors or keep it white. Okay. So if we use this, not bad, right? Now we change this to, oh, okay, they're using one of our colors already. Okay, so I'm going to change this to the deep green, change this to our deep green. Let me see what this looks like in white. Contrast isn't great, so I'm just going to keep it with this. Okay, black. Some part of me is going to want to change this to white, okay, because I just want it to be very clean. Okay, so obviously change this to our regular fonts, open source, right? Then reduce the size so that it really fits. Okay, you can see where this is aligning to this and this is aligning to this. Okay, so creative director, open source, reduce just a bit, then our play fair display. I want it to be bold because I need people to see my name. Okay. And then we have fabulous. Okay. So this will be good for a one-sided business card. Okay. So we'll have www.fabulous.com, right? Phone number, blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes you also want to have your Instagram details and all of that. Okay. So what do? You copy them from your banner. Okay. Just copy this and then paste. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the size. Okay. So so we have this already. So I might just remove this. Okay. What font size is this? 5.4, 5.7. Okay, so I'll just keep this at 5.4 so that all our font sizes are uniform. Okay. Don't forget, uniformity is very important. So social media. Now something is wrong. This icon, the inside is this color, so it needs to be white, so it's sharp. Okay, our fonts are different colors and different line heights. So I'm going to ungroup. Okay, change color to this color. Okay, fabulous.com, cuts it out. Paste. Okay, they have the same. All right, so I might just keep this on the same line to make it shorter so it doesn't look too long. Okay, maybe drag this up a bit and then bring this down. Okay, so you have your business card ready to go. Okay, if you are going to do 2 pages, right, you probably want to separate the information and have fabulous at the back. Okay, and if you want to do that, we're not going to use this logo, we're going to use the primary logo. Okay, because it's long. All right, so copy, paste at the back, right? Okay, change the background color to, I like this color for the back, right? Since this is the only thing that's here, so the contrast is going to be good. Okay, so since logo is there, I'll just delete this since it's at the back. Okay, keep my title. Okay, and then we have space to do a few designs. All right, so what do? I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and paste this here, right? And we have our logo, we have our business card ready to go. Okay, so you see, once you create a system, you can just move things around with that system you've created. That's why I spent all that time helping you understand how to make your design, how to have your design sense. Okay, and all of these things are going to keep your brand uniform. These are the things that will keep your brand sharp and very visible at any point. Okay, let me know if you understand all that I've said so far. Okay, good. Right. So I'm going to end here. I want us to have one extra class. Okay. And I want us to have that class in 2 weeks' time. Okay. And 2 weeks' time, because I want everyone to have done their assignments. That's a long time for everyone to do their assignments. Okay. Don't forget. I want us to have another class in 2 weeks. Now, in that class, we're going to go over all the assignments that I haven't looked at, 1. And then 2, we're also going to do, I'm going to spend some more time on presentation and creating a portfolio for yourself. Okay, so it's going to be like an alumni meetup type of thing. So I expect that you might have done some work for some other people. You might have played around with a few things. Share all of them with me, okay, within the space of that 2 weeks, so that at the end of that class, right, we will have touched on almost everything that we haven't touched on and a few extra things. All right. So yeah, I'll set the class for 2 weeks time. So that will be 2nd week in August. Okay, you know what? Let's do it 3rd week in August, the Monday of the 3rd week in August. So we have 2 full weeks. Okay, is everyone fine with that time? Please let me know if everyone is fine with that time. First Monday in August, 9 p.m. as usual. The first Monday in the 3rd week of August. Okay, so let me find out what date that is. That is the 16th of August. Okay, so if you're fine with that, we would kick off from there. I'm going to show you how to make a personal website, how to make your portfolio, and how to work with presentations. Okay, so apart from that, every other thing is pretty easy to do. So obviously, all the things that I've done for my brand, I want you to do for your brand. Business card, letter-headed paper, trifold brochure. This is a bifold brochure actually. Okay, so pick either bifold or trifold brochure, right? Any one of the two. Okay, so I want to see your letterhead, and then I'm going to show you how to do mock-ups as well. Okay, because of time, I won't be able to do that. Okay, so but in the next class we'll do presentations, how to do mock-ups. I mean, you're going to use mock-ups for your portfolio, so it will be necessary for me to teach you that as well. Okay, and then don't forget that class is a good catch-up class. They've designed some things personally for your friends, for people. Share them with me. We'll go over them in that class. Okay, I hope to see a lot of good work from you guys. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so let me see if there are some assignments to share. Well, there are actually, so I'm just going to share them now. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. Oh, nice. Call for vendors. I like this. This is obviously on social media. Oh, I love this. Look at the uniformity of the space. Exactly the same, right? Like these are the things that I want to see. I love this. Well done. This is really good. This is really, 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 really good. I really like it. See the hierarchy. Very sharp. Very, very sharp. I actually love this. Call for vendors. Okay, so this logo feels very out of place here. Well, not very, just a little actually. And the background has a vibe of marble. Marble has some vibe of luxury or relaxation, as opposed to vendors like people looking for work and stuff. So maybe what might be a good background would be something plain or some material like wood or like a wall finish, something that says I'm hustling, right? But yeah, I like the concepts. Very nice. So another thing is that I want to suggest is for this call for vendors. Okay, I actually like it. There's nothing else to say apart from the fact that logo feels out of place. So you might want to reduce the size. Okay, maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe just reduce the size. And then here we have only the icon and not the name of the company. So it might be difficult for people who are seeing this for the first time. Okay, so here we have plugs. So it might be better to have this combination mark here. Okay, so even if it means doing something like this, right, where you have plug, okay, delete this and this, call for vendors. Okay, so reduce this, bring this down, and then paste this up here. Okay, so this might be a bit better because here you're still able to show the logo, okay, and still have call for vendors, as opposed to here where you have call for vendors and you just have this icon. So people who might see this for the first time might not exactly be able to identify the brand. Okay, so you also want to bear that in mind. But I really like this. This is really, really good. I love the consistency with the colors and the style, right? It's very consistent. And obviously your photography style is black and white colors. So it's very good. I really like this. Well done, well done, well done. Facebook. Oh, okay. So this is Instagram. Oh, this is like countdown. Nice, nice. I really like this. One of the first things that I want to point out is this text. So the text here has very, well, not very poor, but poor contrast. Okay, so it's easier to see as with white text. Okay, so just look at this compared to this. Okay, so it's better with white text. Okay, and I see this has some opacity as well, right? So personally, my suggestion would have been to, so you know what, let me remove this, right? Let me duplicate this. Okay, my personal suggestion would be to keep this color sharp. Okay, make this white, right? The reason is you want this color to always be as consistent as possible, okay? This color, this exact color, right? When it's transparent, it blends with the background into start to look like something else entirely, okay? So my suggestion would be to always keep this color this sharp, okay? Except in the case where you cannot do without it, right? But in this case, it's possible, okay? So yeah, but I really like this. This is really good. Really, 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 really good. Well done. Awesome. So yeah, same thing here. I like the arrangement, I like the hierarchy, I like the consistency. Same design in different formats, right? Changing the arrangements, really, really good. So the exact same thing I said. It'd be good if this color is sharp, right? Same here as well. A sharp, okay. And then you can see there's some opacity here as well. So you might not need that so that it's more, the contrast is sharper. Imagine it with this and then without this. Okay. So the contrast is sharper when you have without that underlay. Okay. So look at this compared to this. Okay. And because it's a new brand, the colors are really popping, you want them to pop as often as possible. So yeah. I really like this. And I like the fact that there's no text here, because on Insta stories, it's very difficult for you to see text here. Okay. So yeah, this is good as well. Twitter header. I like this. I like this. So another thing for Twitter headers is most times you won't be able to see what's here. Okay. So you probably just have this will show. Okay. Another thing for Twitter headers in terms of utility, not design. Utility, by utility, I mean in how it's used. For most times on your Twitter header, you would notice that you have your profile image here. If your profile image here has your logo, right, you might not want to repeat your logo on the header. Okay, but if it doesn't have your logo, then it's fine for your header to be here, for your logo to be here. Okay, so if you don't have your logo on your profile image, you keep your logo here. I mean, it's not wrong to have both, right? It's just, it might be nicer if you have just your logo in one place instead of scattered everywhere. Okay, so but design wise, this is perfect. I was just referring to utility, something that you might want to take into consideration when you're working with your own brands personally. Okay, so yeah, but this is really good. I really like this. I don't have any comments to make on this design wise. It's very sharp. I love it. Yo, somebody redid their design. Ooh, nice. I love the colors. I love the colors. Very, very nicely done. Very simple. I really like this. I really like this. Something is wrong here. Ah, I knew it. But yeah, apart from that, I really like this. This is good. Really good. I like the arrangement. I like the hierarchy. I like the colors. I like everything. I like everything. Ah, nice. I like the use of this image actually. It's very good. I like this. I like this. I like this. My suggestion, right? This is not a design suggestion. This is a utility suggestion. Would be if you want to use an image of food like this, right? Find the most enticing food image possible. Okay. When I say enticing, I mean something that has maybe plenty colors around it, very well decorated, all the interesting things around it, because those are the things that really attract people. Okay, so this image is actually good, it's proper, it's sharp, right? But it's not as attractive as, let me show you something like this. Maybe roasted fish, for example. Okay, it's not as attractive as something like this or this or this, right? All these colors, all these things, all these, they have a way of, like, imagine this image was what we had there, right? So That's just something to help you see in terms of utility, okay, like in the future. But design-wise, this is very well done, perfectly done. I like it. Oh, same thing here. I like this. I like this. I like this. Well done. The only challenge, or not challenge, the only thing I want to comment on is, you see, if you look here, there's more space here than here. Okay, so you might just need to do a little rearrangement. Okay, so if it means dragging this down, okay, I'm bringing this down, then this down, with making this a little larger, but it works just fine the way it is. And then bringing this down so that you have a decent amount of space up and down. Okay, let me know if you understand what I just did and why I did it.
Yes, I do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I like that. Okay, so we still have the old ones. Nice. You see, look at the difference between this and these new ones. Very nice. Imagine you now did another one by next week. It will be so mind blowing. I like that. Well done, you guys. Really impressive. Oh, okay. So this is your mood board. Nice. Fabulous with a dot. Nice. Oh, so this is your your favicon. Okay, okay. This is another option. Fabulous. Let me look at this. Okay. Now, my comments for a logo, right? This is a very nice design, right? Very nice design. My comment is that for a logo, it's difficult for you to use something like this because it's hard to replicate and it's not very malleable. Malleable in the sense that except you then have like a black version of this where instead of all these shapes, it's actually just a black hat, right? In the context of when you have to use it on a surface that's not paper, or when you have to use it in a platform where you're not printing directly, okay? Or if it's not a digital platform. So that's why I said your logo needs to be very, very, very flexible, okay? So something like this wouldn't work perfectly for a logo that you want to use across board. And this is a fashion brand where you'll be printing as well, okay? So have that in mind as well. Fabulous. I like this actually. My only challenge with this is people might not read fabulous as a word. They read fabio, then loss. I mean, for us, it makes sense because fabulous has been on our mind. But if you share this with people and say, what do you read? It will be difficult for them to read it as quickly as they should. If you compare it to this, it will be difficult for them to read it as quickly as they should compared to this. Okay, so you can actually share your logo with people, random people, not designers, actually, random people, share with them and say, just for legibility, what do you read? Right. I remember the time I designed the logo and I shared it with like 10 people, like 7 of them couldn't read it. And it was nice, right? But it was defeating the purpose. If people that are looking at this can't read it, then I need to edit something. Okay. Oh, I like this. I like this. Now this can work, right? So what you want to do for something like this is where you have this color, right? You can make it, oh, okay. It's not an actual white color. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. I like this actually. I really like this. So this would be a simpler version, right? Because this extra line in between, right? Except this line is white and plain white like this, it might be difficult to apply on some other platforms, on some other medium. Okay, but I really like this. Fabulous with the O. And button says fashion. It doesn't have to be clothes. It can be shoes. It can be, any other thing. I like that. I like this too. Very nice. So you see the difference between this and this, the space. So it makes it harder to read because of the space. So people isolate this and then isolate this. But when they are together, right, the chances that they will read it together are higher. I hope you understand.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good stuff. I like that. Well done, well done. Okay, this is another brand. Okay, this is your personal brand, Cecialo. Right. So there's obviously a concept behind the balloon falling down. Do you want to share that?
Yes, because based on the brand questionnaire that I gave, the brand is supposed to be a fun brand, supposed to be artsy. It's supposed to be like an arts brand, but fun and free spirited. Also supposed to be luxury brand. So I put the color for luxury and then balloon for the free spiritedness. I couldn't really represent the artsiness because to my mind, like art to represent the artsiness would be like using colors and all of that. And I wanted to limit the colors. So I guess the balloon is not it's not a strict balloon, it's like a fun, free. Yeah, so I don't know. That's the idea.
Okay, really nice. I like that. I like that. Very well done. My two things. I like the concept. I like how you expressed it, right? In terms of usability for the logo, right? This long line, okay, might be a problem. And I'll explain. Problem in the sense that when you have to do your exclusions, right? It means that you would have exclusions from here. And then when you have an exclusion that's from here, it means like this whole place is going to almost be forever blank whenever you have your designs. Okay. So my suggestion might be if you bring up the balloon, okay, duplicate this, okay, so that we are still achieving the purpose. If you bring up the balloon, instead of it going down, right? And then if it's possible to reduce the height, okay, so that when you have your exclusion zones, it's not going to be too far away. I hope you understand what I mean.
Yes, yes. And
Okay,
I've already experienced it with design. The banner I'm supposed to design,
good,
there's too much space.
good. So yeah, good stuff. So I like that. Okay, this is another version, right? This is nice. So if you wanted to use this, right, maybe you might now have to do something like this, okay? But even with this, it's still going to be difficult because you still have all of this space, okay? So, but I like the idea. I like this. I like this logo. I like the concept as well. Aha, brand guideline. Nice. Table of contents, logo history. This was the old logo. So this is new logo. Nice. I see that now. Free spirited nature with a mix of luxury. Socialo with the colors. Living thing is the logo font. Okay. I see what I'm explaining. So you would have to work with this. You have to work on this. Yeah. So you see it's coming alive here now. Well, you might have to start cutting out some parts of your logos. Okay. So I believe you're almost done. But yeah, this is good. I like this. I like this. I like this. You guys are making me happy. Well done. All right. You guys have traveled with me this evening. Thank you so much. Have a good night. See you guys in 2 weeks' time. Okay. Don't forget to do your assignments. Send your business card, send your letter-headed paper, your trifold or bifold brochure. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.